If you or your child has spasticity in the hand or the fingers, this video is for you.
Often what we want to do when we see a hand that's clenched like this, we want to pry open the fingers, because if we could just pry open the fingers, then of course the hand would just be like this. Not going to happen.
If you've ever tried this with your child or yourself and you've experienced an increase in spasticity, you're going to want to try something different.
It's actually not the muscles of the hand that's the issue. It's the communication from the brain that's at work here. Those muscles are tight because the communication is a little bit broken. So what we want to do is we want to change that kind of communication. And here's a way that makes it possible to do that.
So Phoebe and I are Anat Baniel Method practitioners, and we use slow, gentle movements to access the potential of the brain to reorganize itself and reorganize spasticity to have more options. And that's what we're going to show you today, is a simple, gentle movement to help the brain reorganize spasticity and have more options.
What the brain really needs is slow and gentle input, slow and gentle information, so the brain can make sense of it.
You just nailed the entire Anat Baniel method in one sentence. We're giving the brain quality information. We're not mechanically stretching the fingers. We're giving the brain information. And there's so many fun, gentle ways that you can give your child's brain or your brain information about their fingers and their hands that can help the brain reorganize in a less spastic movement. The first step to giving the brain quality information is to bring the brain's awareness to what is the hand and the fingers, what is it actually doing? Now, most clients that I see, I'm wondering if this is true for you too, Phoebe, is usually the fingers are curled inwards and the thumb is either in between the index and the middle or somewhere kind of tucked in tight like this. Do you see that as well?
Yeah, it's a classic way that the information is coming to the muscles in the hand that doesn't have a great deal of function to it.
Now we're actually going to bring the brain's attention to how it's organized these fingers in this way. One of the easiest ways to bring the brain's attention to it is through your soft, gentle touch. So simply by running your gentle fingers along each finger in however they've organized themselves.
If you want a little tip about how you as a parent or caregiver can be slower and more gentle, I really recommend you make up a little song that goes something like slow and gentle, slow and gentle, slow and gentle, slow and gentle. Just use those 3 words, slow and gentle, in any kind of tune, just to help your whole nervous system learn about slow and gentle, because it's going to benefit you no matter what. It's going to send a great message to your own brain to be slow and gentle in a way that you haven't been before. Singing elongates our speech, calms our nervous system, and allows us to do things differently.
I love that you added in some song in there because it really does capture the brain's attention. And because you're drawing out the words, you can intentionally slow down the movement in the words and intentionally create the space for the brain to notice differences, to get that quality feedback.
So Jen, you were saying earlier that in traditional therapies, you've seen clients being asked to open their hand to hold on to something really big, but you have a different solution in your practice. And I loved hearing about that because it brings a level of function into the hand. And what I know from the way the brain works is that form, the way that your hand is functioning, follows the function necessary. That when you have a function to do with a hand and you're becoming more and more adept at that function, that getting your hand to do different things in order to do that function will change the shape and usage of the hand.
Right. So first of all, I like to observe, what is the child or the client already doing? How do they have their hand coordinated and organized in that way? And then I'm going to take advantage of how their brain's already organized it and bring their brain's attention to it. So if their hand is placed in this position here, what the natural instinct might be is to stretch the hand open and put something large in there so the hand stays stretched open. But what I like to do is to find the smallest thing possible. So I often use pens if it's safe for your child, first of all, and actually slip the pen into the closed fist like that. Or you could go in like that. And then wherever they've placed their hand, bring the paper or the book or the object to them and start creating scribbles or drawing in this way here. So you're supporting the brain in what it's already doing and adding in a little bit of variation, which is going to get you further than overriding the nervous system and forcing them into a position that they're just not ready for. Sometimes I use pens, but I also find with the smaller kids, this is the one that is too big. I couldn't find my skinnier pool noodle, but if you have a skinny pool noodle, sword fighting with kids is so much fun because that starts to get the rotation of the wrist happening and, the rotation of this sort of thing to bonk you on the head or make funny noises on the ground. That's a lot of fun. So you're exploring different variations within what they're already doing. What are they capable of in this moment?
The fun thing about having something bigger in your hand is that, of course, you can bonk somebody else's head with a pool noodle, but it also starts to engage the other muscles that are attached to all the little muscles of your fingers. And all those other muscles are actually should be doing more work than the little muscles in the hand because they're bigger and they are the supporting system for these little muscles to do their jobs.
It's actually an important piece of the puzzle of reducing spasticity is often when there's spasticity in the hand and the fingers, most people go straight for those fingers and start to pry them open, try to stretch them open. But really, if there's spasticity in the fingers and the hands, I guarantee you there's spasticity in the forearm, in the upper arm, in the shoulder blades, and in the spine in the middle there. That is actually the area that you want to target first because so many of our kids and adults are used to somebody overriding their nervous system, stretching those fingers out, and they often have an involuntary reaction to clenching even tighter when you go in for the big stretch. So most Anat Baniel Method practitioners don't actually even start with the hands and the fingers. They actually start with the spine and the shoulder blade and the arm first to help support that nervous system in learning something new.
Jen, they might go even deeper than that. They might be putting fertilizer in an even deeper hole, which is the pelvis. Maybe we'll talk about that another time.
Yeah, but it is so important for everybody here watching this to understand that spasticity in the hand or the fingers isn't just one thing. We are connected organisms. We're a connected nervous system. And so by working not just with a mechanical muscle, but with working with the nervous system, you're going to get just such more dramatic results when you go slow and when you use gentle movement working with the nervous system. So if you'd like more information about how to reduce spasticity in the arm, we've also done another video. You can check it out right here.
And if you're wondering what even is the Anat Baniel Method, we also made a video called What Even Is the Anat Baniel Method, and it's linked over here.
And we will see you in the next video.